Hello ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Big Brother. I should say Celebrity Big Brother, Season 2, Episode 3. And boy, I was not expecting all of this. So in this episode, we saw that Tamar and Candy were having some issues. Tamar and Candy were having issues, and Tamar and Candy, they kind of talk about it, but not really. Candy's whole stance is she doesn't see what the problem is. She didn't even know that there was supposed to be a problem. Tamar's stance is when she went on tour, and I'm thinking, was this because of the Maddie and Kaya situation, or was this something else? But apparently, Tamar felt like it was rude how they would go and congregate while she's performing backstage, and I don't know. Maybe it's not petty, but the way how she was explaining it, it sounded petty. So they didn't get too far with that. She was just, and then they tried to talk again, and Candy said that she thought that Tamar was, essentially blowing it out of proportion or being a little immature or overreacting. And of course, Tamar didn't want to hear that. I'm like, Candy isn't really good with the whole apology thing, even though at this point, we're all thinking, what is Candy supposed to be apologizing for, Tamar? I think that was the biggest issue of all. Like, what do you really want her to apologize for? And then we'll go from there. So because of all that, now we have this situation where a couple of funny things happened. Natalie and Lolo, so her name is Natalie. Natalie and Lolo, they have a final two deal. Natalie was like, oh, we doing final twos. We going to final twos. And they didn't realize that Tamar was in the room. And Tamar just had this look of, really? And so then they tried to downplay it like, oh, no, I said final two. Why didn't me? Tamar said, look, I don't care. You two can do whatever you want. Everyone's making deals. So then they were like, well, don't you and Candy have a final two? No, we're not about to flip this. I don't have a final two with anyone. But then Tamar was like, look, I have no problem. It's not like I'm going to punch you in your throat or something. And so because she said that, but Tamar was irritated, it was clear she was irritated, Lolo took offense. It was like, I don't play those games. We don't do that whole, So I said, oh no, here we go. I said, oh, so Lolo and Tamar are two of the most emotionally unstable ones in this house. Okay. I peeped it from then. So then Natalie's like, wait. And Tamar's like, wait. Let me back up. Let me back up a little bit and just try this again. I don't have a personal issue with you. I say stuff like that all the time. And Lolo said, I don't know you for you to say something like that to me. And she was like, okay, fair enough. I don't want any problems with you. We have a bigger problem. And the ladies realized that Jonathan is running this HOH. It's very obvious. And Jonathan's always with Ryan. So it really makes it look like they obviously have a final two deal. So it's like, Candy, come in. Candy, it's okay. I forgive you because we have bigger fish to fry. We have bigger issues to worry about in this house. We have to think about what if we get out Jonathan this week. And I said, look at Tamar making big moves. It's actually smart because if Jonathan could use Ryan to win half the competitions, he could potentially win the other half. Final two right there. Jonathan's not going to win. They'll give it to Ryan, but still. And I think that was the biggest thing. It's like we have to focus on what matters most. What matters most is us making it far. At this point, we have an alliance. Lolo said, but we have an alliance. Tamar said, no, we clearly don't really have an alliance. While we have right now beeline characters like Tom and Anthony trying to figure out what they're going to do, I'm thinking that's all well and good, but right now you're not in positions of power, so I would just simmer down for a little bit. So once we had that established, now we have to pick people for the veto competition. It was all the men. Essentially, most of the men were in the veto competition. They had to ride horses. They were in cowboy get-ups. It was quite funny. They had to rock back and forth on the horse, and then they had to stack their golden bricks on a horseshoe, a large horseshoe. They had to stack 50 of them. The first one to do it will win. And a couple of people got close, but then they fell down, which was hysterical. Guess who won? Ricky. Ricky won. He wasn't sure if he wanted to win to show that he could compete or not, but he won. He won the power of veto, and then Ricky got messy because Ryan talked to Ricky and said, here's my game plan. I want to shake things up and potentially put up one of the girls. He wants Lolo. He was like, Ryan said he potentially wants Lolo because he talked to Jonathan, and this is what Jonathan said. Jonathan more so, I should say, co-signed. And it was bad because Ricky said, oh yes, thank you for this information, Ryan. I said, Ryan, you don't give away your gameplay that clearly. Come on now. You know what happens? Ricky goes and talks to Lolo and the other ladies saying that Ryan just told me this information. I don't know who I really want to work with yet, so I just want to make sure that I'm not, have information and don't share it with other people at this point. And they're like, oh, okay. So now Lolo is completely paranoid. She goes, flips off Ryan and Jonathan's pictures while they're in the kitchen. And that's when they see, oh, so she really doesn't give a bleep. Okay, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? All in all, Ricky decides to not use the power of veto, which means that the three guys, Jonathan, Anthony, and Tom, are still on the block, and Ryan is shocked. I said Ryan because clearly this isn't your HOH and people realize it. So I said, look at Ricky. He said he wanted to be messy. He wanted to go make more people paranoid because he sees that there's a lot of emotionally unstable people. I said, oh, you better do that. So I'll be back Friday for the live vote and eviction, and apparently there's going to be 2 people out because they only have a month to do this whole thing. So please like, comment, subscribe, and support my new channel, Romie Whispers ASMR. I'll provide the link below. I really appreciate if you could subscribe. There'll be a video a week up there. Thanks.